is the wrong show, brother.
All right, guys,
Anyways,
welcome to Crook and Murder. My name is Kenny Crook Irish Kirby, and I'll be your host today. You may know me as that guy who uh, bought a really expensive display the other day for himself. I got the Elden Ring limited edition. There's only 1,500 of them out there. I bought one for
what?
myself and one for my dad because he beat Elden Ring as a 70-year-old man, and
Oh, that's
I
impressive.
think he deserves it. Uh,
I think he does too.
That is
I
impressive.
I am joined today by Maxwell Murder.
My name is Maxwell Murder. You might recognize me at the guy that was at Pier 17 watching Frank Turner and the Interrupters, just looking really sour and angry.
And I am also joined today by special guest Alex.
And special guest Alex here, and you can come see my circus that I am starting right now, right here.
Fuck.
Tickets
You know,
only 249.99 for 3 hours of spectacular uh fire walking.
does
Yeah.
does your
So,
circus involve any anuses?
No anuses, but Flying
Oh.
Dutchman, yes.
Alex's circus, please send all money to his address, and he will meet you in Baton Rouge, where his circus takes
Exactly.
place.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. um,
Yes.
So I just wanted to just this is a quick one. So we did the Flying Dutchman the last not last week but the week before, and I was talking about you know the Flying Dutchman in my life who was this asshole from South Africa. But then I remembered there was another Flying Dutchman, and I feel like the Flying Dutchman's haunting me a little bit. But I was 20 and I was hanging out at Berkeley with my cousin and this guy that we didn't know that well in my friend's apartment, and this guy that we didn't know that well says to me and Nick, uh, and Dr. Nick, he's been on this on Upside Down Brain before, says to Nick and I want to do a butt shot. And Nick and I are both look at each other and we're like, what, pray tell, is a butt shot? And this fellow we don't know very well says to us, well, if you take alcohol anally or rectally, it's supposed to get you really fucked up. And then Nick and I look at each other and we're like, well, we're not going to help you. And he's like, no, you don't have to help me. I just need a way to like do it myself. I'll go in the bathroom and do it in the tub. And then Nick and I look at each other again, and we're both like, we'll help you. So I'm an engineer, and Nick is very mathematically minded. So we kind of put our heads together and we came up with this device, and we used the applicator tip, which is about the size of my pinky, from thinner though, from Preparation H thing, Preparation H bottle or tube. And it's meant to go into the anus. So we took the applicator tip, and since we weren't going to help this guy, we had to make it so he could do it himself. We taped it to a funnel, and then around the funnel we taped some like thick printer paper. And right before this dude's going to take it into the bathroom and introduce some vodka into his rectum, Nick gets a Sharpie and he's like, I got a name for it. He writes the Flying Dutchman on the paper. And I couldn't help but feel at the time, this is a premonition. And the guy went into the bathroom. We hear some grunts, and he's sliding in the bathtub. And he comes out, and strangely enough, he didn't bring the Flying Dutchman with him out, which I'm kind of glad because I didn't want to see it afterwards. And we're like, how'd it go? He was like, it went great.
God.
And
Oh, okay.
and I guess he took about, I guess he said he just let the vodka flow, and he took about a third of a fifth of vodka into his ass.
And that being said, I hope you all have wonderful dreams about that tonight.
You just told our entire audience how to take a butt shot.
Well, I mean,
by
I think there's
themselves.
I mean, honestly, I think Nick and I over-engineered it. You could probably have done it with like a calculator.
Disclaimer: Crooked Murder does not recommend any type of liquid being put into your own rectum unless prescribed or directed by your physician.
I will
However,
say that I
we
used to
do.
do prison shots.
Go on.
Well, a prison shot is when a heroin addict takes the tip off their syringe and puts it in
Okay.
their butt.
so the fucking. Anyway,
Move on to dreams.
Let's do some dreams.
We're gonna be covering the science of dreams. This season's entire arc is gonna be based around dreams.
I'm excited.
I had a friend reach out to me and she asked me what she was like visited by a relative in her dreams and she wondered what was the reasoning behind that. And I didn't have an answer for her at the time, so I was like, I'll write a podcast episode on it. It turned into a 4-parter because I went, oh, we can cover the science behind why dreams occur, and then we can cover the esoteric parts of dreams, like the spirituality behind dreams. So the first 2 episodes in the dream series, or at least the first 2 major episodes, are going to be the science behind dreams. And the first episode is going to be today, and I hope to answer that question for her.
Nice. I like the way that this came about. I'm excited because I actually just like the science of dreams anyways. I have a lot of like experience with lucid dreaming and I have like chronic insomnia. So I've always like sleep and dreams has always been a thing that's been like the forefront of my mind anyways. So.
I only have experience with night terrors.
Ooh.
Are you serious?
Never had good dreams.
Really?
Every time I dream, well, I guess every time I recall a dream, right? It's always horrible.
Man, I will say that. Yeah, go ahead.
Most of my dreams are actually fairly lucid of late. Like I remember a lot of them, and I remember one of them. I wake up and like I'm getting chased by this monster, and it's just like this horrible feeling. And it occurs to me in the dream, I'm just like, this is a fucking nightmare. Hell yeah, I haven't had one of these in a while. It became like my personal horror movie, and I was like, I fucking love this shit.
Well, yeah. So if you're lucidly dreaming, that's kind of fun. But if you're you know what I also have a lot of experience with is sleep paralysis, which is terrifying.
Same here. I was telling Kurds that before we started.
And yes, scary, people, since we are covering dreams, all of our connecting episodes are going to be based around dreams. So we're going to be covering sleep paralysis at some point in this season.
I've had a lot of experiences with sleep paralysis. In fact, like I'm pretty sure that I had what most people sort of have as a alien abduction, which turned out to be sleep paralysis. But I was totally convinced that I was being abducted by aliens when I was 15.
I almost feel like that story would be really good in the sleep paralysis episode. So
So take us through the phases of sleep, Max.
Let's do the scientific dreams.
Let's talk about dreams. Okay. All right. So those bizarre stories, images, and sounds our minds conjure at night. What are they, and what do they mean? In this 4-part series, we wish to answer those questions and many more. Join us and delve into both the science and the spirituality behind dreams. I'm going to try to do this in a voice that puts people to sleep.
Look, guys,
that's bad podcasting.
It is.
Well, that's not good for us at all.
You guys are so boring that we fall asleep. Listen, pair this with your favorite log of weed. Just light up and join us on this journey because shit's about to get weird.
And if you don't smoke weed, just listen to Max's sensual voice and just wank off in the corner
and fall asleep.
You know, I am a pretty good hypnotist. You're feeling tired. Okay.
We're supposed to be podcasting right now.
Let me see if I can get this voice a little bit better. All right. Okay.
I'm assuming a lot of this is going to get cut to the actual podcast, right?
Oh no.
Longest
No,
intro
we're
ever.
leaving it in. All right. There are 5 phases of sleep in a cycle. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, you're going
All
to
right.
give people nightmares.
All right.
What the
I'll
fuck?
just do it. I'll just do it straight.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Mephisto.
All right. 1, in the first phase, we have light sleep, slow eye movement, and reduced muscle activity. This is 4 to 5% of total sleep.
You sound like one of those doctor
God damn.
documentaries that they play in a hospital, where it's just like
God.
in the first phase of
now-
dreams.
Give me a try.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead.
Phase 2. Next, our eye movement stops and brainwaves become
God.
slower with occasional bursts of rapid waves called sleep spindles.
Welcome to Avion, where all your
This-
dreams come true.
This accounts for 45 to 55% of total sleep.
You sound like Chat GPT. Okay. All right. I'll take it from here. All right. 3. In the third phase, we experience extremely slow brain waves called delta waves. These are interspersed with similar faster waves. This is deep sleep, and it comprises 4 to 6% of total sleep.
Yeah. So basically, we slowly fall asleep. That's 4 to 5%. Our deepest sleep is like, or our second deepest. God damn it! Let me read this.
It's the second phase comprises like 50% ish of sleep.
Yeah, that's I think is our second deepest sleep, and a lot of us are in that phase. But dreams, if I'm right, occur in the 4th or 5th phase.
Yeah. So this is the way I have understood it always. So the fourth phase is exclusively delta waves and no eye movement or activity. This is also deep sleep. This is the portion where it is difficult to wake someone up. If people come out of deep sleep, they are usually disoriented and confused. This comprises 12 to 15% of total sleep.
This is your
That's not-
afternoon nap where you oversleep. Where
Yep.
it's like, listen, I've read about this. The perfect afternoon nap is about 20 minutes.
I've
Anything
read that
more,
too. Yep.
and you fall into a deeper sleep and you actually wake up
Yeah.
groggy.
Yeah, but who the fuck can sleep for 20 goddamn minutes?
This
Well,
guy,
what I do,
that was in the
Yeah.
Navy.
My naps minimum 3.5 hours.
Jeez. I don't take naps, but if I am going to take a power nap, I will pound a Red Bull right before I go to sleep so that when I wake up in 20 minutes, I'm like good to go.
God, that sounds awful.
Technically, someone once told me that's how Red Bulls are supposed to work, where they like knock you out for a little bit and then boom, you're up.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've heard Red Bull gives you wings.
I've heard that it gives you like a burning anus.
I also heard that they had to pay everyone in Canada 10 cents because somebody sued Red Bull and said, well, it's impossible for it to give it wings. That's false advertising.
Oh my god.
Why did they have to
all of-
pay Canada?
Well, all of so
Because it
all
was a
of
Canadian lawsuit, so
was
it
a
was like
it
done
was
through
a
their courts.
Canadian class action lawsuit that comprised all of Canada.
It's like we here in Canada are offended, eh? You're gonna have
We're
to
tired.
change your advertising, eh?
Yeah, we're tired of your wings, eh? All right. Okay, so we're gonna get into REM sleep, which is where dreaming happens. And this isn't the band REM. This is rapid eye movement. Although night swimming, if you watch that video, it'll give you good dreams. Okay. REM, rapid eye movement, occurs in the 5th phase. Breathing becomes shallow, rapid, and irregular. Eyes dart about in different directions, and limb muscles become paralyzed. Heart rate also increases, blood pressure rises, and males get erections.
This is where it happens, guys.
Is this where nocturnal emissions happen?
Yep.
All right. Okay. People who awaken during REM sleep describe crazy, illogical journeys. These are dreams, people. Neuroscience believes this section is the likely candidate behind the cause of our dreams. Comprises 20 to 25% of total sleep time.
Here's the thing. It's like science doesn't fully understand dreaming.
It's true, yeah.
And like a lot of this stuff, well, a lot of things in science are really just hypothetical until proven otherwise.
Yeah,
But
those damn Jew scientists.
this is
What did I say?
more this is more of a what's that? It's not really a gray area for science, but they don't understand it, which means
Yeah,
esoteric mentality could very much apply here.
yeah. They don't like neuroscience doesn't really like they know that we need to dream, but they don't really know why we need to dream, and they don't really know why we dream of the things we do and what's helpful and what's not helpful, as far as I understand it. So I don't know.
Kind of sounds like to me it's all bunk science, government waste of money.
Yeah, we don't need to sleep. We don't need to fucking sleep. The government tells you need to sleep.
Who's all these scientists dreaming and turning our frogs gay?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say something. I have a lot of funny stories about nocturnal emissions that maybe I'll tell you on a different episode.
Sounds about right.
Well,
okay, you can tell one. You got 2 minutes.
Oh no, it's just okay. So when I was on drugs, when I was coming off of, like, when I was hardcore into them, when I was coming off the dope, I knew that I was about to start hardcore withdrawals because the night before I'd have a wet dream.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
the reason was because I would spend like 3 months like doing nothing but finding dope and using dope, and I would forget that I had a dick and it needed some work sometimes.
Oh my
And
god, you would just get extremely bad blue balls?
yes, but I wouldn't know I had blue balls because again, my brain would be like, it was such an obsession. I would be like, my whole life would be surrounded drugs, like finding drugs, doing drugs.
haven't you ever seen Trainspotting? It's like
Actually, yeah,
horniness goes away
it
until
does.
the withdrawals are gone.
Yeah. So I knew the withdrawals were starting because like all of a sudden, like I'd have this like rush of testosterone or something, or like, yeah, I'd get crazy blue balls and like I'd go to sleep, I'd have a crazy weird sex dream, and I'd wake up covered in my own spunk.
You know,
That sounds awful.
truth
It's
be told,
terrible.
whenever I have a wet dream, I'm about to do something else that's hardcore.
Like what?
Where is that going?
What?
I don't.
That's right there. It stops right there.
That's it. Also, I have never in my life had a wet dream, like even when I was a kid, um, outside of those withdrawals. Those are the only times that I've ever woken up and it was always a lot of stuff. So I'd always just be like covered, like, like chest to knees and in my own,
Jesus
like,
Christ.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Like
So
a fucking Cinnabon factory.
hold on,
Yes.
you're like
Yes.
fucking fat bastard. It's like I I take heroin so I can get wet dreams,
Exactly.
and then I withdraw, and then take more heroin so I can get wet dreams.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, actually, Train Spotting was one of the best depictions of heroin addiction, like especially kicking it when they lock him in the room and they're like, you need a bucket for sputum and a bucket for diarrhea and a towel and a locked door.
Yeah.
All right, so what are dreams?
What are
Let's
dreams?
talk about dreams. We'll get away from my weird sex dreams. Okay. It is one of the most extensively researched yet least understood cognitive states. Dreams are a universal human experience that can be described as a state of consciousness. I like that. Each dream lasts anywhere between 5 to 20 minutes, but in your brain they last a lot longer. They are characterized by our sensory, cognitive, and emotional occurrences during our sleep cycles. Typically, dreamers experience reduced control over the content, visual images, and memory activation. There is such a thing as lucid dreaming. The dreamer is aware that they are dreaming, may have some control, though the measure of it varies, for sure, definitely. This often occurs in the middle of dreams when the dreamer themselves realizes they're dreaming. Um, some people experience it at random, others claim to be able to control it. So there's a trick actually that I learned. So if you suspect that you are dreaming, one way to break the hold and become lucid is to take your finger and try to push it through your hand. And if it doesn't really matter if you can or can't actually get the finger through your hand, it somehow short circuits whatever's happening and you realize you're dreaming.
I've actually
That's
heard
interesting.
another trick as well. If you're being chased by a monster and you want to get out of your dream, take your finger and shove it right up your ass, and it will wake you up like super quick.
Yeah, it's the obvious eject button.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. My
that's why it's called the G spot.
Yeah, my prostate is definitely my eject button. um, I I have so the other thing about doing a lot of drugs is you have a lot of weird dreams and you have a lot of lucid dreams. You also have a lot of sleep paralysis, but we'll get into sleep paralysis later. But I've done a lot of lucid dreaming, and now that I'm clean and sober 15 years, uh, I uh, I still have lucid dreams, and every time I do, I wake up and the dream floats away, but I know I had a lucid dream. It's weird. Anyways, let's jump into some analysis. Okay, there are two approaches to dream analysis: neuroscience and psychoanalytic. Neuroscience focuses on the structures involved with the dream production, organization, and narratability. Psychoanalytic concerns the meaning of the dreams in context to the dreamer's history of relationships.
So it's basically Freudian.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So like neuroscience is like, sort of the production of the dream and what the narrative is and organization, whereas psychoanalytic is Freudian. Yeah,
It's what and how, you know.
yeah, exactly. I like that. All right. Reports of dreams tend to be full of emotional and vivid journeys that correspond to themes, concerns, dream figures, and objects associated with our waking life. These elements create a reality from seemingly nothing, producing an experience with realistic time frames and connections.
You know, that's always tripped me out because you could
Yeah, that
literally
trips me out
have,
too.
you could almost have like an entire lifetime in dreams,
Yeah,
and it would be like a 10-minute dream.
yeah. Dreams only last 5 to 20 minutes, so like I mean, like when I like if I wake up in the morning and then fall asleep again, that's usually when I do the most dreaming. And like I'll fall asleep, I'll enter REM sleep, and then I'll have a crazy dream and wake up from it, and I realize that I've only been asleep for like 90 minutes, even though it seemed like I was asleep for a fucking decade.
Yeah. And sometimes after fighting the Balrog, I'll fall into beyond space and time, and each day will be like a lifetime on this earth.
Oh,
And
I
and
hate those type of
yeah, I
dreams.
know.
Yeah.
And I end up, with a gray beard and gray long hair and a buck ass naked and flying through
Fucking
the
shooting
universe.
out dragon fireworks.
Yeah, Jesus. It's fucking
Only to
crazy,
come back to
man.
have like a pure white beard, which is fucking weird.
I know, right? It used to be gray and stringy, and then it's totally white. Whew, that's a weird dream. I'm glad we all had that one.
Yeah.
I'm also glad that we're not talking about anything that's copyrighted. So
No, never. No, Tolkien is
I'm talking about Lord
fair
of the
use at this
Circles.
point.
wait,
I
what?
would imagine his family still owns the rights. No,
I don't think no, his granddaughter did. I'm sorry. Yeah, they do. My bad. I was thinking of Wizard of Oz. That is public domain now.
have you seen the guy? This is a tangent. Have you seen the guy? There's some dude making horror movies off of things that are like slowly becoming public domain. So he
Oh,
made a Winnie
really?
the Pooh horror film.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
No,
Blood
I
and
did
Um,
Honey.
see that. I did see
I
that.
can't remember. He was making another one like
Yeah.
really
He's doing
ridiculous.
Peter Pan next.
Yep.
Was it Peter Pan? Yeah.
Yeah, but they're apparently horrible, low budget with the only
Oh, they're
like
no, they're
No, they're
horrendous.
terrible. Someone
They're
should do a
terrible.
really great Peter Pan like action
Winnie the
film, not
Pooh,
like
blood and honey, baby.
I would love to see an actually good Peter Pan horror film where
right?
he's like a child kidnapper. You know, it's like
Yes. Actually, you know what did a good job of that was this is gonna sound crazy, was that Once Upon a Time show on ABC. They did
I
a whole
heard.
season where Peter Pan was terrifying.
I keep hearing that that's something to watch.
Oh, I
It's a
think he's
great
doing
show.
Bambi too.
Oh God, you know,
Bambi, The Reckoning.
How can you make Bambi worse? The first 10 minutes of
Bam-
Bambi is traumatizing.
I was gonna say Bambi's already terrifying. Jesus,
Dude, yeah. Bambi, The
Bam-
Reckoning.
Bambi the Reckoning.
It's
Well,
her mother lives this time.
What I
she
would
was
love to see
zombie.
is Bambi as Rambo.
Yes,
Getting
Bambo.
vengeance for the killer, like getting vengeance on the killer of his mother.
Ooh, or like
Rambo style.
Bambi the Equalizer.
Bambo.
Oh yeah.
Um, good
Get
set of
Queen
films
Latifah
there.
in that shit.
Fuck yeah. Oh man. Oh, there's a show too. Anyways, the Denzel
That's what I was
Washington.
thinking.
Yeah.
No, I know
But
the Denzel Washington, but you're gonna do Bambi the Equalizer, it ain't gonna be. It's gonna be fucking Queen Latifah.
I agree. I agree. Uh, I was just gonna say that the best Peter Pan movie ever made was Hook, and I don't care what anyone
Yeah,
says.
I
Actually,
agree.
I agree with that. Every
Yeah.
every Peter Pan, like, it's so fucking weird that he's had such a resurgence. It seems like every
Yeah.
2 years we get a new
There's
fucking Peter Pan movie.
Yeah, and nothing was as original as Hook. Hook was a great take on that story.
100%.
Yeah,
Everything else is just a fucking rehash of the same shit we all knew from our
exactly.
childhood.
And
Right?
then you get to the weird racial undertones with Tiger Lily and stuff, and it's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the causes of dreams. Um, Studying dreams is extremely difficult, as one might think. So the entire field is roughly theoretical. Though many have wondered how do dreams come about and what purpose do they serve? Researchers have come up with these potential reasons as to why we dream.
Now,
Offline, I
I do
like
want
this
to
one.
go off on a side note here real quick. We're covering the scientific part of this. So,
Yes,
if anybody is wondering why we're not touching the esoteric or the more spiritual side, we will.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll totally get there. Um, okay, so this has always been my understanding is offline memory reprocessing. The brain consolidates learning and memory tasks and supports and records waking consciousness. So like it kind of takes what's been going on, not necessarily in your day, but in your life recently, and kind of like turns it on its head to sort of process what the memory is. And then there's preparation. Dreams are preparing the brain for potential future threats, desires, wishes. Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, but
Co-
that kind of bleeds into the offline memory
it does, yeah.
right?
So like it's taking like experience you've had recently, and then turning it into what could be like a way to
A
process
potential
threat or
situation. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. So cognitive simulations. Dreams
It's
are a
it's what we do really well as humans, and that's draw
yeah,
patterns. You know, so
exactly. Yeah.
basically they're taking the offline memory reprocessing and making a pattern out of it and being like, look out for this.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. Humans, we are like you said, like this is what we do as humans. We're really good at sort of pattern recognition, pattern analysis, and grouping, and that's kind of something that separates us from, say, the animals. So then we got cognitive simulations. Dreams are a subsystem of the waking default network, the part of the mind active during daydreaming. So they could be replaying twisted events from our active memories during the day or week.
Yeah,
That makes
so
sense.
I wonder, like, I mean, it's basically dreams are a subsystem of the waking default network, the part of the mind active during daydreaming. I wonder if that means that we can daydream our dreams into reality. So, for instance, if we're sitting there and going, man, I love a Ferrari and dreaming about it all day, maybe during our dreams at night, we'll be driving a Ferrari.
Or even processing a way to afford a Ferrari.
Not in this economy. Wishful dreaming.
Not with interest rates where they are now. Come on.
Wishful dreaming is about the best that we could do.
Yeah. I like that. Hold on. Okay, just cleaning my glasses off. All right. And then we've got reflection, a psychoanalysis of our unconscious mental functions. Meditation, a unique state of consciousness that blends experiences into the present with lessons from the past and preparation for the future. I see a theme forming. Balancing, a psychological space where overwhelming, contradictory, or highly complex notions can be brought together by the dreaming ego. Basically, it blends together the ideas that are too unsettling for us while awake, serving the need for psychological balance and equilibrium.
So
I like that.
what that's saying in a nutshell is the shit that we're awake. Like if a family member passes and we don't want to process that and we
Yeah,
actively avoid it, our dreams will do it for us to keep us from going completely batshit insane.
yeah, and that makes sense. Like, again, sort of like one of the things that sort of separates us from the animals is the ability to like feel certain like deep grief or like conflicted emotions about situations and etc. Um, and then we got therapy. Dreams may represent a form of psychotherapy, helping develop cognitive capabilities like long-term memory. Or they could just be an interpretation of random signals from the brain while we sleep. I like that one. Um, uh, you
Just
know,
mini seizures we're all having.
yeah, exactly. I would be curious to see dream studies done on people with dementia.
Ooh,
Like
that'd be a
that could
fun dream.
well,
Look, I don't
it
know.
could
I
also be
mean,
really interesting.
I'm going to say this at the expense of it sounding really crass, but
hmm
if I got dementia, wouldn't everything be new and fun for me every day?
No,
No.
Okay.
Well, okay. So maybe someday we should do an episode on dementia because it's really weird.
because the
But
problem with dementia too is you're rubbing up against, like, yeah, everything would be new and fun if you didn't have any outside factors, right?
yeah,
I would
exactly.
imagine. But the
Yeah.
problem is, like, your reality is butting against up like a group of people that have a different
Yes.
perception of reality, which
Yeah.
causes a lot of friction.
Well, then
And
I'll
you
recheck their reality and substitute it with my own.
What is this, a fucking hockey game?
yeah. But okay, so I've had a lot of experience with dementia in my family, and what I noticed is that it reduces you to your base sort of like um emotional setting. So if you're the type of person who does a lot of filtering from your head to your mouth because you're thinking that person's a fucking ugly ass bitch, um, then once you get dementia, that filter goes away and you turn into a giant dick.
Dude, I know exactly what I would become. You ever
Well,
seen
what happens?
you
What's
ever
it?
seen Robot Chicken where the
Yeah, of course.
like the 6 fucking like condoms of cocaine burst in that Yeti
Yes,
I've never seen that.
and
that's
he
a
That
good
just
sounds
one.
pretty
starts
good.
ripping apart the airport?
Yeah,
That would be
that's you know
me on
what.
dementia.
Okay. So the other thing is like my grandmother, who was like the greatest lady. She was the matriarch of the family. She suffered pretty horrible dementia, and it wasn't actually from age. She actually hit her head when she was 70, and yeah, and it was extremely hard to see her go through. But once we put her in a like when she went to go live with my mom and my sister, who took care of her, and they were familiar, her dementia became less of a really depressing type of burden, and she reset to her base sort of emotional level, which was a very happy, friendly old woman. You know,
Interesting.
so like I've seen it go both ways. Like when people like I won't say who, but not a blood relative, but somebody who was related to me at one point has pretty bad dementia, and she has never been a happy person, and the dementia has multiplied that by 1,000.
So go be fucking happy people, guys.
Yeah, or just stop thinking such horrible things about people, because once you get dementia, you're gonna start saying them out loud, and people are gonna hate you.
Stop being a dick.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what I think
Love
about
and
dementia.
peace, man.
I think the saddest thing my grandmother told me was she was an avid reader. She read a lot of mysteries and true crime and stuff. When she started to get the memory stuff, she said to me, like, I can't read anymore because I read a page and then I forget it.
Oh, that is horrifying.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that was the saddest thing.
Look, I'm
But
not
again,
trying to make too much light of this. You know, I understand that it is a serious disease.
no, it is a serious disease. But the thing is, like, I'm happy that my grandmother died happy because, like I said, we put her in an environment that was very soft and very easy, and she didn't die confused and angry. She died happy to be with her family. So,
Nice.
Technically, every time I watch John Wick, it would be like the first time.
Jesus Christ.
I think a better approach to that would be to every time you watch John Wick, drop like 2 hits of acid, and then it'll be like
On
brand new
dementia.
every time.
Jesus
Every
Christ.
time.
We got a dementia patient in there, just dropping acid and watching John Wick.
Well, speaking of dementia, what's the left and right side of the brain doing
Let's
when we
talk about
dream?
left and right brain. Okay. So okay, we got the left side, we got the right side of the brain. Both sides of the brain contribute in different ways to the formation of dreams. The left hemisphere seems to provide dream origins, while the right side provides dream vividness, figurativeness, and activation level. A study of adolescents, 10 to 17 years old, I bet there was a lot of nocturnal emissions there. Showed
What is this mysterious white goo?
Bazinga!
Is this dream goo?
Yeah, it's dream goo.
Is this ectoplasm from their horrible nightmares?
Fucking Slimer somewhere around the corner, guys.
Yes, son, it's dream goo. It's to lubricate you in the dream sequence.
That
Guys,
sounded so creepy.
That's
sounded
weird.
so fucking creepy.
That's weird because it was an imitation of my father.
it just goes to school. Guys, I'm like Peter Venkman. I got slimed by dream goo last night. It got all over me.
You dumbass, that's your own jizz. Okay.
Oh my god.
Anyways, this study of spunky adolescents showed that those who were left-handed,
Keyword spunk.
yes, were more likely to experience lucid dreams and remember dreams within dreams. It's interesting because I have a lot of lucid dreams.
Whoa. Dreams within dreams.
Yes, just like
Yeah,
Inception.
that is very. I have those a lot.
You've had dreams and dreams?
Yeah, where you wake up from a dream, but you're still in the dream.
Technically, in the later episodes, we're going to go into this, but that's a sign that the universe is really trying to tell you something.
Oh fuck! sounds like I'm missing a lot here.
Maybe you should read ahead a
Sounds
bit.
like fucking Freddy Cougar is about to fucking rip out your goddamn throat.
Yes. Well, I was gonna say I'm not left-handed, but I'm actually ambidextrous. Like I can write with both hands. I can do most things with both hands. I can skateboard.
You know what else you can do with both hands? Wink,
I can
wink.
jerk it off. I can actually. I'm very good with both hands.
Wow, humble brag.
That's horrible though, because then how do you do the stranger?
I can't. It's just
Yeah,
it's
that's
impossible.
you're missing out.
No, I'm
With-
just as good with my left hand as I am with the right hand.
Honestly, with both hands, I can easily grab the Pringles can that I shove down my pants every day.
Fuck.
I use a
It's your
a
chastity
zucchini-
belt.
I use a zucchini wrapped in tinfoil, like from Spinal Tap.
Oh yeah, to keep them safe from the aliens. Yep, I get it.
No, I just because I wear tight pants and I want people to think I'm fucking hung. Anyways,
I just
let's
tell
talk about-
people.
I
You just
usually
tell people.
use those baby carrots. Really makes it look a lot bigger than it is. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, buddy.
Oh my god.
High five to the micropene.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just shove it in the Pringles can, and then it just kind of hangs there.
That's true. Put my dick and balls in a Pringles can and just fucking. I look in the mirror and I'm like, no hands, look.
Once you pop, you won't be able to stop.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's stop talking about Pringles cans hanging on our dick and balls and get into the characters from our dreams. Okay, characters.
You said there were
appear-
no dick jokes, Alex. You said there were
Dude,
no
I was
way.
thinking the same thing, and I am. We got there.
Right at the
Dude.
beginning of the episode, there was no place in here to put a dick joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We can make a dick joke about anything.
Yeah.
I used to say when people ask me how to play Magic the Gathering, I would say, well, you start playing the game and then it just turns into dick jokes. It's true. Okay. Characters that appear in our dreams and how we identify them has been one of the central topics of cognitive research. A study of 320 adult dream reports have found, this is a less spunky study, 48% of characters are a named person known from the dreamer. Of the named characters, 32% were identified by appearance, 21% were identified by behavior, 45% were identified by face, and this is my favorite because this is what happens to me. 44% were identified by just knowing.
See, but do you think the just knowing thing, like, do you think that's a false memory? Like, do you think that's you reflecting once you get up and you're just trying to fit
I don't know what
something
it
in
is.
there to make sense?
I
Does
just
that,
know,
am
like,
I making sense? Am I?
you are making sense. So the just knowing thing is like the way I explain it is like if I have a dream and it's like about someone I know, but it's not their face, it's not their body, I don't recognize them, but I just know it's that person, right? Like that's how I kind of view that because I do that a lot. Like I will dream about like say my sister and she's tossing me a hand grenade and I'm tossing it back to her, but it doesn't look like my sister. I just know it's my sister.
Yeah, okay.
So here's my thoughts on it, right? And we're gonna breach into the esoteric a bit. You ever notice that not one of them said identified by name? So
Yeah.
if we're
You don't hear the name, you just think it in your head.
if we're actively meeting like each other, like let's say Max and I go to sleep tonight and I dream about Max and Max dreams about me.
Aw.
Oh,
And we're like
That's sweet.
hanging out and kicking it. Who's to say that our spiritual side isn't meeting up?
That makes sense. Yeah, you don't ever at least for me in my dreams, I don't ever say like, hey Kirby. I just know it's Kirby, even if it doesn't look
yeah,
like Kirby.
that's true.
Yeah, because the spirit recognizes the spirit. We
Yeah.
don't need a name once we've gotten to that point.
I won't go into too much detail, but like a lot of my like dirty dreams are like that. Like it'll be someone, it'll be a different face and body, but I will just know that it's a certain person.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense.
And usually involves a fucking Pringle can, but we'll get into that later. Okay, 35% are identified by social role, and 16% are just not recognized. I do have that too. Are we in the esoteric part, Kirby? Just out of curiosity, are we gonna get into that weird little guy wearing flannel that's always at the end of my bed and inviting me to the Black Lodge?
No, you should go there though.
Okay.
And then when
Don't
you
go to
get
the
back,
Black Lodge.
let us know how it is.
That was a Twin Peaks reference, and if anyone cared.
I've never seen Twin Peaks, and
Twin
everyone says I
Peaks?
should watch it. Dude,
it's
I've
so
never
good.
seen it.
It's the only good thing that that guy's ever done.
Twin Peaks or Crowley. I mean,
David Fincher
Not David Fincher.
or the actor
David Lynch.
or David Lynch.
what
yeah,
about
sorry.
Requiem for a Dream?
He didn't do that. That was Aronofsky,
Okay.
the guy
yeah.
who did Pi.
No, didn't he do Memento though?
He did do Memento. That was pretty good.
He also did the original Dune. No.
Yeah. Okay. So the original Dune was very good because it had Sting. But yeah, he did do. Okay, the original Dune movie was pretty. Got me there.
That is him. Yeah, it is him.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
David
dude,
Lynch.
he did Eraserhead too.
Oh god.
Oh.
Okay, never
I
mind.
don't think you're giving David
yeah.
Lynch enough credit.
What
I
the
there.
fuck
really am
is
not.
this?
I just didn't like
False.
Mulholland Drive. I'm
Fake
sorry.
news. This is fake
Fake
news.
Okay. Yeah, he did some great. Yeah, Racerhead was him. That was a great film. And Twin Peaks is fucking awesome.
Blue Velvet. That movie's fucking wild.
David Lynch is a wild man. Okay, let's talk about some bizarre shit, guys. So bizarre elements were reported in 14% of named or generic characters. Interesting. Affection and joy were typically associated with known characters and how we identify them, even when these values were inconsistent with our waking state. That's
So-
totally what I'm talking about.
This is key. You can
Yeah.
go to bed hating your brother, and then meet him on the other side, and you guys will be right past that and hanging out.
That sounds like a personal thing, Kirby.
Yeah,
Has
it's
that- has-
it's
has
it's
that
a
ever
it's,
happened?
Yeah.
it's a day by day basis.
Okay. Just checking, man. You know. For some reason, I have a lot of dreams about playing hot potato with a live hand grenade. Is that weird?
No, I mean, I have a lot of dreams about driving off cliffs and shit.
Yeah, I don't like those where you start falling.
Driving off highways.
Yeah.
What's another
Um,
one that I have? That's like a pretty big night terror I have. Another
Yeah.
pretty bad night terror that I have is like losing limbs.
Oh, God.
Like
That's terrifying.
and we'll get into the sleep paralysis one, but those have been paired
Yeah.
with so like real quick, it's just like I've had sleep paralysis after having a nightmare like that, and
Yeah.
I'll wake up thinking I don't have any limbs.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I've
Holy
never had
fuck.
that one. I'll just say that sleep paralysis is one of the most terrifying experiences of my life, and I've had it a lot. And it's basically like, for me, it's been almost waking. Like my eyes are open, but I'm dreaming, and I can see the room that I'm in, but I'm also dreaming at the same time, and I can't move. And you know, I know it's cognitively it's a lucid dream technically because I know what's going on, but I can't snap out of it. And like the only way I was ever able to snap out of it was to like force myself to move my toe, and that would snap me out of it. But just doing that was the hardest thing ever.
Honestly, that's one of the ways to wake up from sleep paralysis,
Is to move
which we're going to cover.
muscles. Yeah,
But
it's terrifying.
when there's a couple, I don't remember a lot of my dreams, which is pretty normal
I
because
don't
you
either.
you
Yeah.
tend to forget them unless you write them down right away.
Yeah.
There are two that stand out though, and one of them I was like 10 years old, and I fell asleep, and I woke up in the same bed, and I walk out of my house, and like the sky is blood red, and every planet is close enough that you can make out like the contours of it. And I just started walking down the street, and it looked like a straight up apocalypse like scenario. I was just like, huh. And then I woke
And
up.
that's pretty fucking terrifying.
And then the other one was I fell asleep without realizing I had fallen asleep and saw a gigantic black spider crawl up from the foot of my bed and onto my chest. I woke up so goddamn fast and threw the covers like across the room.
You know what that probably was probably an actual spider fucking crawling on you.
Oh,
I don't
God.
want to fucking think about
Yeah, I
that.
don't want to think about it.
Because you
lot of-
totally eat insects while you sleep.
Yeah, I've heard that. I have a very acute arachnophobia, and I have a lot of bad dreams about like huge spiders.
I've
Yeah,
gotten
I've never
much
had spiders.
I've gotten much better about my arachnophobia because, like, one day my dad was like, "Go clean the fucking shed," and I go out to the shed and it's like I go back to him and I'm like, "You mean clean Shelob's fucking lair?"
Oh,
because
you mean so basically exposure therapy?
yeah, and so he's like, yeah, use this leaf blower, and I go in and I start blowing it around, and it was like that part in Batman Begins, but all these spiders were swirling around me, and I was just like, this is what I must become, some kind of spider guy.
Spider-Man. Oh, that Pete Speederman, he's a real nice Jewish boy down the street.
Although, truthfully, I'd make a horrible superhero because I've tried it. I played a superhero in Red Dead Redemption 2. I found the Executioner's mask, and I sat up on the rooftops of Denise, and I was like, as night falls, its protector watches, and I saw a crime break out, and I was like, crime, and I go running up to the guy, but they stabbed the wife before I could get to him, so
Oh,
I kill the guy and like I tackle him and kill him, and the husband's like, why didn't you stop the crime sooner and save my wife? And I was like, why didn't you fucking step in and save your own goddamn wife? And then the two of us got into a fist fight. And then the cops got called. And yeah, I'm not a very good superhero.
All I can say is so excited for GTA 6. Cannot imagine what their fucking AI is going to be like in that game.
oh man. Okay. By the way, I beat Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm still playing it, and I still love it. Anyways,
Tears of the Kingdom, baby. That's what I've been playing.
I beat Jedi Survivor.
was it any good?
I love those games.
Okay.
Although Kirby knows, because I was complaining to him, the third act difficulty spike is unnecessary. Like it comes out of nowhere.
It's
Like I just
fucking
don't know.
ludicrous.
It's ridiculous.
It
Okay,
just
well,
like it
I'll
happens
remember
at
that.
this very specific point that you go in and you just get the shit kicked out of you, and then like it goes from being a really good Jedi game to Sekiro in about the fucking time span of 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And like the rest of the game after that is pretty much no different.
Wow. Okay. I'll remember that when I finish Hogwarts. I hope they come out with a sequel. Year 6. Okay, so these findings suggest that the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is our short-term memory, takes a back seat while dreaming. That makes a lot of sense. While the paleocortical and subcortical limbic system, that's the emotional processing, long-term memory, smell, etc. That's like our lizard brain, basically, are much more active during our dreaming states. That makes a lot of sense, like because you wake up from a dream and you don't remember it, so that makes total sense. That like your prefrontal cortex takes a back seat.
Yeah, essentially dreams are like Amazon nowadays, where instead of being 2 to 3 day delivery, it's about a week and delayed. So
Yeah,
what
and
you're
they lose your shit.
yeah, and they lose your shit. So like what you're dreaming would happen like a week ago, 9 times out
Yeah,
of 10.
yeah, that makes sense. Um, and that whole lizard brain thing, like that paleo cortical and subcortical limbic system stuff, like that makes a lot of sense that it would take over while dreaming because that's kind of like it's like the most primitive part of our brains. That's like it's all like instinct and shit, like emotional processing. Yeah. All right, let's talk about some memories. Um, I might have boobs on my brain. Um, Studies focused on the dreams of psychiatric patients and patients with sleep disorders helped theorize that the waking life bleeds into our dreams. Basically, their real life experiences are reflected in their dreams. Processing memories into dreams takes a cycle of around 7 days. Wow.
Amazon.
Amazon. It's Amazon now. And then they send you fucking 3 banjos that you didn't pay for.
Amazon Prime gets you fuck you from Amazon.
Yeah, God. What happened? They used to be so good, and now they suck balls.
Like COVID.
They did it on purpose, yeah, because of the logistical issues.
Oh, so they're just so instead of saying, we'll get this to you in like 4 days, they just lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop ordering shit from them. Okay, so there are two types of effects. Two types of effects help incorporate memories into dreams. The day residue effect involves immediate incorporation of effects from the previous day. While the memory consolidation is occurring, images from that process leak into our dreams. And then we have the dream lag effect, incorporates memories from about a week ago. Events experienced while awake feature in 1 to 2% of our dreams. That makes sense. Though 65% of dream reports reflect aspects of recent waking life experiences. Uh, these effects occur at the REM stage, but not in the dreams at stage 2.
So that's kind of like when you go up to the Amazon shipping services and you're like, where the fuck is my goddamn package? You're like right down the street and it's still been a fucking week. That's when they look it up.
Okay. I think we've got some issues with Amazon in Moab, Utah.
Yeah, like nothing gets out here on time. But yeah, Amazon's kind of the worst offender.
They really are. God. I just keep going back to the fucking 3 banjos.
Well, they'll be flying drones soon, and then we'll get our 2 days again.
Oh, thank goodness. I really want those drones flying all over the place and watching me. And
Fucking hitting birds, hitting
Yeah.
planes.
God, I can't wait.
Smashing into cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've been waiting for those drones were promised like 6 years ago, and I'm still.
Although my house is technically in a drone-free zone because I have an airport nearby, so I don't know if they could legally drop shit off by drone at my house.
Couldn't.
Although it's
they were-
Amazon, they'll probably just pay the government. They'll be like, "Yeah, we can."
Yeah, exactly. In the when I lived in San Francisco for like 6 months, there was a pervert that had been flying his drone up to like windows and shit and looking in on like you know young girls changing and stuff, and I helped one of my neighbors sort of track it down with some hacking shit, and we found out who it was, and I guess my neighbor took it pretty serious because he brought a shotgun over there and threatened the guy.
Oh man.
Yeah. That guy didn't fly his drone anymore. Fucking San Francisco. Never move there. Never live there. Don't go there unless you're gonna burn that city to the ground.
You know what? San Diego is way cooler, anyways.
Yes, it is. Fuck yeah.
San Jose.
No, San Jose sucks ass.
Oh, I've only been there once, and that was to the Winchester House.
San Diego.
Okay, that's a great thing.
Which was dope as shit.
It is dope as shit.
Which Winchester House? The one that's constantly being built by ghosts, or the one that has to deal with the Oh, it's the same house. Never mind.
It's the same house.
Yeah. It's crazy. I love the Winchester House, and it is very, very, very haunted.
I would love to go in there. Apparently, it's haunted by every single spirit that's been killed by a Winchester.
That's one theory. The other theory is that Sarah Winchester was a very avid spiritualist, and she invited a ton of spirits in there. Anyways, we'll talk about the Winchester House on another episode. We should do that too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
break that down. In fact, the 3 of us should take a trip there and then do an episode.
I'd be down for that.
I'm always down to see like creep shit. So yeah.
When I got the money.
I also think I found the M Cave. So if anybody wants to go on a journey with that, it's outside Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm so fucking down.
You know what? Yeah, we can talk about this afterwards.
Yeah, let's table this.
We'll do an episode on the M Cave at some point.
Fuck yeah, we will. Okay. 2 types of memories from the basis of a dream. Autobiographical memories, memories of oneself. Most dreams do this. Memories of personal journeys are experienced fragmentarily. Wait, did I say that right? Fragmentarily, sorry. And selectively during dreams. Purpose may be to integrate these memories into the long-lasting autobiography echoes of our mind. And then we have episodic memories about specific events or episodes, like the season finale of supernatural. Um, therefore, sleep does not help people forget unwanted memories. Damn. REM sleep might actually help counter repression, effectively allowing wanted or unwanted memories to become more accessible.
Yeah, so
The pro-
anybody that's like, I'm just going to go to sleep and forget about it, guess
yeah,
what?
not gonna happen.
You're doing the opposite of that.
Yeah. Absolutely. The processes help further functions of socioeconomical adaptation and memory consolidation. It's interesting.
Did you
Actually, it
socio
makes more sense.
emotional?
Did I say? Oh, I said yeah.
I think you said economical.
yeah, socio-emotional. Sorry.
Which, let's all face it,
Yeah.
the fucking economics is so tied with the emotional at this point. Sweet Jesus.
I know,
Same
Jesus
difference,
Christ.
yeah.
I mean, interest rates. Am I right?
Bazinga!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
One of my favorite things that Kirby says sometimes is, "Well, you got to say bazinga so everyone knows you're being funny."
Yeah, it's so we can play laugh track, you know.
Yeah. I once heard that show described as nerd blackface, which makes total sense.
Oh, 100. It's complete fucking bullshit.
I
And
know.
I hate the Big Bang Theory. I hate it. I hate people that say they like the Big Bang Theory because it makes them feel smart. And it's like, well,
Oh,
if you're
God.
really smart, you'd be watching Futurama or Rick and Morty, but fuck off.
Dude, I was
Tell me,
just gonna
tell me,
say,
tell me when your joke punchline is in.
yeah, bazinga, buddy.
Oh, bazinga.
Um, yeah, that show. I mean,
Max just let out the fucking demons.
oh my God,
Wait,
was good.
was that our shitty laugh track?
Yeah, I got a laugh track going.
I'm never saying bazinga again. That was horrible. It sounded like it sounds like that hole in Russia that screams constantly and is like a direct portal to hell.
Oh,
So
I've seen that.
Every
Yeah,
time
we should go.
someone says
We should go
bazinga,
there.
I'm gonna play the laugh track.
Oh God.
so this is actually that's a pretty good representation of the Big Bang Theory.
Exactly. It's a hole that just sucks nothing. Yeah, okay. Young Sheldon sucks too. We'll talk about that. Okay. We're gonna talk a little about Freud. Um, repression, dreams, and Freud kind of go hand in hand. Freud theorized that unpleasant memories could become suppressed in the mind. He believed that a category of dreams known as biographical dreams reflect the historical experience of being an infant without the defensive function. In short, traumatic dreams perform a function of recovery. It helps communicate an experience to an experience the dreamer had but does not understand. This helps individuals piece together and come to terms with past trauma.
Sorry. Sorry.
Bazinga!
Well, Zunga. Yeah, if you want to watch a good show about if you want to watch a show about nerds that has real math in it, watch Futurama.
Yeah, that's like real shit.
Speaking of which, shout out new episodes July 24th on Hulu.
What? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
down.
that's
Yep.
coming back.
That show fucking formed like a big portion of my childhood and life.
Same here.
I love that Futurama gets canceled but just comes back.
Yeah, I love it too.
Every
It's-
time. Every
Every
time.
time.
It's always
And it-
just put on hiatus for a while.
Dude, it's the
Yeah.
thing that Matt Groening will not let die.
Well, and Matt Groening and David X. Cohen, David X. Cohen has a PhD in mathematics, which is why that show is the way it is.
Nice.
Honestly, Futurama, in my opinion, is far better than The Simpsons. Like,
Oh, 100%.
I agree.
it should still be on the air. It should have never been canceled.
Well, I kind of like that it keeps coming back. Like, it's kind of like you get a little break of it, and then you're like, it's coming back. Holy shit. Fuck yeah.
I will agree with that. Yeah, because then it gives it like an excitement to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's also, The Simpsons has like heartwarming moments, but like Futurama, the characters are so well developed that you actually care for every single one except for Zoidberg.
Dude, there are 3 episodes that I just cannot watch. and they're all the ones about Fry's past. So it's the episode
Yes.
with his
Yes.
dad and like the
Yep.
cold virus, the one with his mom.
Mhm.
I think it's like the dream state one where he's like saying goodbye to his mom and then she wakes up. Perfect.
Yeah.
She wakes up. This is more the esoteric thing, so I'll bring that back up. And then the dog one fucking kills me
Oh god, the
every
dog one
time.
kills me too. Oh
Jurassic
man.
Park. The last time
Yes.
I watched,
Park.
the last time I watched Jurassic Park, I was drunk, or Jurassic Park. I was drunk as hell, and by the end of the episode, I was like, "Why, Matt Groening?" And I like threw my fucking bottle across the room. I'm like, "You fucking asshole!"
Dude, that ending with the dog just walking on the sidewalk back and
know. Oh
forth with
god.
the seasons changing is fucking
Oh.
heartbreaking.
It is. The other one that I can't watch is the one that sort of fast forwards through Fry and Leela's relationship. Do you remember that one?
Oh, the very last episode?
Is that the last? Yeah, the last episode of the main series. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
he-
and it's them
Yeah.
on Earth by themselves, and then it's one of the greatest finales of a show ever.
Oh god, it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it loops back around to the very first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, and it's that one made me cry. for
And
sure.
so Futurama just becomes one giant time loop,
Yep.
which
It's
was fucking
genius.
genius on their part.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I never realized that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it becomes one giant time loop.
Yeah. This, yeah. Him. I also love I love Robo Satan. Okay, we got to get back to this because we could do a whole fucking podcast on Futurama. It'll be back to back with our podcast on Star Trek. Okay, so let's talk about some forgetting and remembering dreams. Okay, so most people over the age of 10 dream 4 to 6 times a night. Wow, that seems like a lot. 5 minutes after a dream, people have forgotten 50% of its contents. 10 minutes, it increases to 90%. That I can understand.
Yeah, that is one of the most frustrating things when you've
It
had like
is.
a
Oh,
super
God.
vivid dream and you wake up and all you want to do is tell somebody about it.
And then you forget it.
And it's like 15 minutes later and you're like, well, this
was
one
a good
thing
dream.
happened and then, well, I don't really remember what happened next, but I'm
I
pretty
do-
sure that led into this. And who was there again?
Yeah, and then the person's just sitting there staring at you and is like,
Like,
"So none of
great
this
dream,
fucking
buddy."
happened? You dreamed it? Get fucked."
And, actually, so I do know some people that remember their dreams very well. My girlfriend Ansley, actually, she seems to remember her dreams like exactly as they happen. Like she will wake up and like we'll be having breakfast or hanging out on the couch, and she'll say like, "I had this crazy dream last night," and tell me every detail, which is crazy because I can't do that at all.
Yeah, I can't. I can only do that for certain dreams and only certain ones that have repeated for the last like 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. Or she'll forget some dreams, but she'll wake up and tell me like, "I had a dream about you last night. You were being a dick," and I'm like, "What was Dream Max doing?" And she'll be like, "I don't remember, but you were being really mean." So
Maybe you're just being a dick, Max.
it's possible.
Are you, while she's sleeping, are you whispering like really shitty, mean things to her?
Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just like
Trump should be president.
I'm whispering like I'm seeing
Abortion should be
men.
banned at 6 weeks.
Santa Claus isn't real.
Hey, don't we might have young listeners.
Don't fuck with the Saint Nick.
Don't fuck with no. That's
Yeah, so Max
should
is
cut that.
obviously lying.
Anyways, yeah, Dream Max is a real asshole. I don't understand.
Oh my god, can you imagine if some kid listens to our podcast and that's how they find out that Santa's not real?
God, I really
Then
hope
our job here is done, boys.
That's it,
Back
guys.
it up.
Absolutely.
We did it. We achieved it. There's nothing else we can do beyond it.
Neither is the Easter Bunny.
It's all downhill from here.
Jesus didn't resurrect on December 25th. Yep.
when my
I'm
first
gonna go out on a limb and say Jesus just didn't resurrect at all.
Well, he was a fucking desert wizard, so maybe he did. Um, when I had my first kid, I was so dead set on not telling her the Santa lie because Santa, if you think about it, is a fucking creep. Like he's always peeping in on you, watching you. If you're like,
Oh, dude,
too
he's
young.
totally a perv. He definitely
Yeah,
molests children.
absolutely. I didn't want. I thought when I was a kid, I thought Santa was terrifying, but I relented because everyone told me that was a terrible thing to do to my child. But whatever. Um, okay. Most dreams are entirely forgotten after the person wakes up. Though,
I'm sorry. I just see Max like, listen, kid. I know you're 4 years old, but Santa isn't. Santa's not real. Also,
yeah.
taxes suck, and that's what you got to look forward to. Have fun with life.
Sorry, kid. Santa's not real, and death and taxes are. um, no, my kids believe in Santa, and they don't listen to this, so thank God. Okay, so though the cause of this phenomenon is not known, I was really hoping we get to an answer there, but we're not. If you want to improve dream recall, try these steps. Wake up naturally, no alarms. That actually makes sense. Focus on the dream as much as possible after awaking. That also makes sense. Write down the dream as much as possible after waking up. Make a recording or make recording dreams a habit.
So if
Okay.
you do these steps over and over and over and over again, eventually you'll start to secondhand remember your dreams. They're
Yeah.
called dream journals, and they're if you want to remember what you've been dreaming, start practicing these on a daily basis.
Yeah. I don't know if I do want to remember what I'm dreaming, but I might try this just
I
for the heck of it.
definitely do not.
Yeah.
All
I,
I'm saying is the dreams that I do remember, if all of my dreams happen to be like that, boy howdy.
you might, if you do some dream journaling, you might find out that your dreams aren't all entirely bad, honestly.
I don't know, man. I don't even want to take the risk.
It's a good plan.
Alex ends up in a mental hospital next week. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Well, if Alex is in a mental hospital, I fully expect him to still do the podcast.
Yeah, you still have to show up, buddy.
But I need internet.
Yeah. Special guest Alex from the Looney Bin.
Yeah,
Can
definitely
you
special now.
imagine though? I'm like, no, I'm telling you, there's these two guys that I do a podcast with. Their name's special guest Alex. We just did a whole thing about dreams. Now, Alex, you're in here because of your dreams. No, I swear. We were talking about dreams, so I started writing down the dreams.
You're just
Yeah,
in a
one guy's
straitjacket in a fucking hospital bed. Hey guys, I'm here to do the podcast.
I swear, one of them's named Kirby. I swear, and they're like, character from
His name is-
Nintendo. No, I swear to God, he's not a
He-
fucking pink ball. It's a dude. It's a dude.
It's a dude, and no, his name is actually Crook, and the other one is Murder.
Yeah. Oh man.
Let's get through this so Alex can go to sleep. Okay.
What do you guys talk about? Butt chugging alcohol?
Yeah, we talked about how the Flying Dutchman has haunted Murder's life for eons, and it was butt chugging alcohol too is weird, but they're real. I tell you, they're real. Anyways, okay. I know we said this at the beginning, but we do not at Crook and Murder endorse butt chugging alcohol.
Yeah, chug
Very
your own
dangerous.
alcohol through your own butt.
Unless
Okay?
it's prescribed or recommended by your local physician.
This is true. If your
general
doctor says
practitioner.
you have to shove
Your
vodka
doctor
up
says
your ass,
chug alcohol and vodka up your asshole, then you should probably do it.
you should
Well,
definitely do it.
My doctor is named Dr. Buzz.
Although, also make sure that doctor is still legally allowed to practice medicine in your state.
Dr. Buzz can fucking practice any type of medicine. He prescribed me like a bunch of psilocybin mushrooms, and it was the best thing ever.
What is his name? Hugh Glory?
No, it's Dr. Buzz, but actually his name might be Hugh Laurie.
Wait,
Um,
if you shove mushrooms up your asshole, do you get the psychoanalytical effects quicker?
I don't really
I
want to find that out.
don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that question.
I could go into the science of how certain substances are absorbed better certain ways. So like morphine and heroin actually are best absorbed either intravenously or rectally. But say something like oxycodone or hydrocodone is best absorbed through the stomach lining.
So there you go, guys. Shove a
Yeah.
mushroom up your ass and let us know how it goes.
Well, I don't know if that breaks the. It's all about the blood-brain barrier, but I could do a whole episode on the best ways of ingesting different types of drugs.
And we could do an
Man, I
entire
got some
episode after
ashy
that
elbows.
about how to get off the FBI watch list.
Also, how to get off drugs.
You ain't getting off that shit. Once you on, you on.
Dude, I'm definitely on the FBI watch list. I forgot what I looked up the other day, but my coworkers were like, you're on the FBI watch list now. And then someone else there was like, he's been on it. He's there.
Been on it. You can request your file. It takes a while, but we'll go into that later. Okay. So, what factors determine how well remembered dreams? Age. A person is likely to experience changes in sleep structure, timing, and EEG, electroencephalographic activity, as they get older. So, dream recall progressively decreases at the onset of adulthood, not necessarily in older age, though. Okay, that's interesting. Dreams become less intense. This evolution occurs faster in men than women. Of course, it does. Um, Gender. In a dream research study between 108 males and 110 females, no differences were found between the amount of sexuality, friendliness, male characters, aggressiveness, weapons, or clothes that featured in the content. However,
What about female characters?
well, I think we're getting to that. However, the dreams of females tended to feature a higher amount of family members in indoor settings than the male populace. Weird.
Yeah, so the
Sleep.
males were dreaming of Sparta while the females were dreaming of like a happy family.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but we'll go with it. Okay, sleep disorders. So I have a bunch of sleep disorders, but let's go into these. People with insomnia tend to have higher rates of dream recall. Their dreams also tend to reflect the stress associated with their condition. I 100% can say anecdotally that's true. People with narcolepsy, on the other hand, tend to have dreams underlaid with bizarre and negative tone. Yeah, people with narcolepsy have very dangerous, like, sleepwalking episodes too. I have had severe insomnia since I was 15, and I remember the first instance of it happening. It was during school, and it was like a Tuesday night, and I tried to sleep the whole night, but I was up till dawn, and that progressively turned into a week without sleep.
Oh my god, dude, you were probably tripping balls.
It was bad. The fucked up thing was, and this is, I told like adults, but like I didn't really tell them the severity of it. I was just like, I didn't sleep well last night. In reality, what was happening was I was in bed with my head on the pillow for 11 hours and maybe slept like a few minutes. And that is my insomnia. I still get like that. I get the sort of like the trend of like racing thoughts, looping around in my head. And the good thing is now that I'm older, I know by 11 p.m. if I'm going to have that. And I have sleeping medication that I don't usually take that often. It's more like break glass in case of emergency. But
Yeah.
also knowing that I have it will help me sleep, if that makes sense.
Honestly, when I was in the Navy, I had like a 3-day stint of insomnia. And
Mm.
I've like torn it apart and I can't figure out what happened. But essentially we would get out because I was working night shifts. We would get out during the day and then we'd go back to the barracks and my friend would be like, "Hey, let's play Gears of War." And then suddenly it's like 5 o'clock p.m. and I have to go back to
Yeah.
work. And then
It sounds like it was Gears of War and you were
Yeah,
stimulating the
I
brain.
think that was, yeah.
and then we'd get off the next day, and then my friend would be like, "Hey, let's continue Gears of War," and then it's like 6 p.m. again, and I got to go back to work.
Yeah, sounds like Gears of War was the cause there, buddy.
I've tried to dissect what happened, but I can't figure it out. On the third day, my friend was like, "Let's we're close to the end. Let's continue playing Gears of War." And then that night in the galley, after 3 days of no sleep, I was yelling at a sack of potatoes to get out of my galley because I thought it was somebody sitting there just doing nothing.
Oh my god! I remember sitting in class, and I told my buddy Cassidy, I was like, dude, I haven't slept in like 4 days. And he's like, what do you mean? Like you having trouble sleeping? I'm like, no, I literally haven't slept in 4 days. And he's like, oh, I was gonna ask if you were putting on weight because you look like shit. Apparently, my
That's a true friend.
Maybe we should tell somebody. Maybe you should go to the nurse. No, you look like shit.
I mean, that is kind of how it was. But yeah, apparently my face was all bloated and like puffy and shit. So, but this thing is like, again, I've had this my whole life, and even to this day, some nights like, again, because I'm older, I have ways of combating it. But like some nights, like I will know that I'm not going to get to sleep till like 6 a.m.
Oh, I
So
can't even imagine.
It's terrible. I just go with it sometimes. And the thing is, like, the other thing is, if I lay in bed trying to go to sleep, I will put myself into a panic and I definitely won't go to sleep. So usually when it happens, I get up and like I'll go like into the living room and watch TV on the couch, or I'll read a book, something. And if I watch TV, I'll watch reruns because I don't want to think too hard.
You know, that the worst thing is when you're too tired to do anything,
Yeah.
but you can't fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I want to go into this insomnia stuff later in another episode because I think it'll go well with some esoteric stuff too. But, okay. How does dream recall tie into well-being? This is a good one. One study focused on the link between dream content / recall and the social relationships of the people that were dreaming, using a base group of college students.
All white.
Yeah, white people. The study assessed measures of attachment, dream recall, dream content, and other psychological measures. Participants who scored high on the insecure attachment scale were significantly more likely to dream frequently and experience intense images intense images that contextualize strong emotions to their dreams, or in their dreams, sorry. While volunteers with preoccupied attachment styles, these are some fucking psychological terms you're throwing at us here, were more likely to report dreams with a higher number of words.
Okay, so what's preoccupied attachment styles?
I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. I think it's people that.
I think that's sort of what I was just describing with the sort of like running thoughts, honestly.
No, I think it's people that are like attached to others.
Oh,
So it's like because it's a study focused on the link between dream
bless you.
recall and social relationships. So people that are more like independent or scored high on the insecure
Oh,
attachment
okay.
scale were significantly more likely to dream frequently and experience
Got it.
intense images.
Okay.
Volunteers with preoccupied attachment styles, aka those that were like just massively attached to somebody,
Yeah.
were more likely to report dreams with a higher number of words.
Interesting. Okay. So dream recall was the lowest for the avoidant subjects and highest for the preoccupied subjects. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, we've talked a lot about like dream forgetting and remembering, and I still am confused as to how it works. I like this next section, by the way. Does everyone dream in color?
I
This has
will
never
say
occurred-
before you go that I did not know any of this, and I found this fascinating.
I think it's fascinating, but I also like I'm no closer to understanding why I forget dreams and don't forget dreams. You know, like
No, but I'm saying the dreams in color one. Like I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, I didn't know this is really interesting. Okay, so younger people are more likely to dream in color. In a study conducted, it was discovered that 80% of participants under the age of 30 years old dreamed in color. 20% said they dreamed in color at the age of 60 years old. The number of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who dream in color increased between 1993 and 2009. Many believe that colored TV caused this. I was just going to speculate on that. Another study using questionnaires and dream diaries found that older adults more commonly dream in black and white. Some people have reported that both their black and white dreams and their color dreams were equally vivid. Younger participants have said that their black and white dreams are poorer quality, though.
Well, that's
Again, I
racist.
think that goes.
Look, you can't just single out the black and white dreams, okay?
Well,
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
I like this part that says people reported both their black and white dreams and their color dreams were equally vivid. Like, we're dreaming in high def, guys, even if it's black and white. I also like the theory of TV because that makes a lot of sense.
I
Because
love the TV theory. I mean,
yeah,
it's
Yeah, and just electronics in general, right? Because
absolutely.
even when there was starting to be color TV in, the 70s, 80s, things
Just
like
like the
that,
60s, 70s, yeah.
yeah, you still had like newspapers, all black and white.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like a lot of that stuff was
Yeah.
still like
Yeah,
very,
and now news is all color and video.
yep. Discord is all colored, green outlines, gray, phones.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. No, I like that. And I've had black and white dreams and I can actually definitely say that like my black and white dreams are equally as vivid as my color dreams.
I don't think
plus
I've ever had a black and white dream.
plus according to like photographs, the world was black and white up until about 1970s. So that's
I used to ask my dad that if the world was black and white when he was a kid.
Well, it was.
yeah. I
And
mean, we
I
have
that's
pictures
what
to
mean,
he would.
prove it.
My dad was kind of a
He's-
ball, but
there's
my dad was kind of a
there's
ball
visual
buster. So
evidence.
yeah, he would say like, "Yeah, it was. Everything was black and white until you were born."
I don't know if you guys know this, but the sound quality, like
Oh yeah.
people's hearing and sound quality, really bad back in the day.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Well,
Very
also,
fuzzy, crackling.
yeah. I mean, when I dreamed in the '90s, everything was just like lit, like way too bright, and then when people started shooting on digital media and they didn't know how to light it, my dreams were also really poorly lit. So I don't
When
know.
I dreamed in the 80s, it was all Ninja Turtles.
I also used to ask my dad if cartoons were real life people just with lines around them.
I mean, they could be. Look, here's the thing. There is a theory that every single story that we create in this world is someone reaching into the depths of the multiverse and pulling it out from there.
I've heard that one, yeah. So like the Ninja Turtles are a real thing somewhere in the multiverse, and they are fucking eating pizza and kicking Shredder's ass and fucking other turtles.
Yes.
Did
Yeah,
what happened
what
to
the fuck
Alex?
just happened to Alex?
I don't. I accidentally joined the Among Us chat. My apologies.
Oh, you're just gonna
Sorry.
go bounce out and play Among Us in the middle
I
of a
was
podcast.
like fucking around with some stuff and
my
accidentally did that.
My kids all play Among Us, and they really want me to play, and I won't.
I actually love Among Us because I
Is
get
it
to
good?
I throw my brother under the bus every single time we play. I'll be like, it was him. And then if someone's like, where's your evidence? I'll be like, I saw Orange throw a lever, whether or not he did. And then they usually eject him.
Oh god. Yeah, I think that thing you were talking about having dreams about Pete, I think that was real.
It's a day by day
Oh,
basis.
it's a bit, but anyways.
So that
Okay, so
brings
that's
us
the
to
end.
the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of part one. Dude. This dream stuff is gonna be good. I am like so into it, and this is shit that I've like I've like read a lot about dreams. I've read about a lot about sleeping. Um, there is a really interesting genetic disorder. So basically, when I talked about not sleeping for like a week, like I would still sleep for like very short intervals because a human body can't actually live without sleep for longer than like 2 weeks. And there's a genetic disorder that causes the person to basically just not sleep, and they will die. It's 100% fatal within like a month, and they will with the not sleeping, they will regress to basically a drooling fucking lump by the time they die.
Technically, I regress to a drooling lump whenever I play Tears of the Kingdom. So I can relate with them.
You can identify with that.
I regress into a drooling lump every morning when I take a shit.
You're just sitting on the toilet drooling.
I mean,
Yeah, and
when
then-
you're really tired and you're just pushing,
and
a
then my
really
feet
fucking
go
huge
numb.
Yeah.
Guys, if
Right,
you're
which-
watching this on our YouTube channel, Crook Irish Studios, that's Alex up there in the top right corner. Just imagine him drooling and shitting in the morning.
Wait,
And
they
go
don't
to-
need to imagine it.
We're gonna tape it next time.
Well, that was a lot of drool. That was more drool than I wanted. Fuck.
Hey, in part 2 of this, do we get into why we drool when we sleep?
Why we drool? No,
Okay.
because that didn't come
That's-
up until right now when we were talking
well,
about.
that was really a George Norrie type question.
That was 100% a George Norrie type question.
Yeah.
You know, he asked some pretty good questions.
He does.
Sometimes.
So Kirby,
Sometimes.
tell me, Kirby, what can you tell me why we drool when we sleep?
Actually, yeah, that's a pretty good impression of him.
All right,
I-
let's wrap this baby up.
Yeah, we got you with 15 minutes to spare, brother.
Oh yeah, hey, look at that. We didn't go
Yeah.
way too long.
Yeah.
So guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. We will be back next week with what's our next one?
Not gin.
Will-O-Wisps.
Will-O-Wisp.
We're gonna do a monster of the week next week, and I love these
I love-
because it's got a whole
monsters.
stat sheet and everything. It's kind of fun. So
Dude,
tune
when we
in for the
publish a-
Will-O-Wisp. What?
When we publish a book, it's gonna have like it's gonna be like a D&D manual with like fucking stat sheets and like monsters and shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, every monster is gonna be like, can you kill it and how?
Yeah, exactly.
And then people could be like, oh, let me consult the Crook and Murder Monster Hunting Guide, written by people who have never ever fought monsters.
I've fought Russians cyberly.
That technically counts-ish. Anyway,
Hey,
Mine-
I want to do one shout out before you do it.
Yeah.
Curb. Okay, so we are putting together another episode of Upside Down Brain. I don't know when we're going to be able to schedule it, but we've got a playlist. It's got a new format. The next episode is going to be on anarcho/folk punk/leftist punk. And I think it's going to be pretty good. We're going to have a great special guest, Lindsay, Dr. Nick's wife, but more importantly, she is a singer-songwriter and pretty awesome. She had her solo project was called Han Solo, with her last name being Han. You get it? You get it, guys?
It's Han.
I know, but her last name is Han. It's H-A-E-N. But I get it.
It's Han Solo.
Whatever. But anyways, her solo project
it's actually
was
Han Solo.
Anyways, Lindsay's awesome, and I'm
Also,
really
Han
excited.
shot first.
He did.
Han did
And-
shoot first.
Yeah, I thought that was like basically put to rest.
Yeah,
Um,
like in fact, to put it to rest on this podcast because I'm a Star Wars nerd. The reason they fix or they change that because in the original Han shot first. The reason the reason they changed that is because George Lucas wanted Han to seem like a good guy, which goes against the very nature of Han, a rebel
is a
in a
good guy,
galaxy
yeah.
that wants you dead.
Yeah, Han is a fucking cold, calculated motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go on, Max.
Anyways, I'm excited to have. We're doing a new format. It's going to be a lot tighter, and we're going to offer some playlists and shit. And I really put a lot of thought into curating this current playlist. And again, I think it's going to be great having Lindsay with us, and of always Josh Gazes. And as soon as we have a date, we're gonna post it, and I'm gonna fucking. I hope that we get some viewership and listeners, because I am almost as excited about this one as I am with the dream stuff coming up on Crook and Murder.
And we're gonna do a quick shout out to John Zara. Thank him for allowing us to use Old Lang Syne
Love you, John.
with our podcast. And let's see if there's any mods on today. We do. We have Corey Craft. Go check her out on Twitch. That is KORICRAFT. Without mods, we want to have a show. So thank you, Corey
Yeah,
Craft.
thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you, Corey Craft.
And shoot her a follow.
Mm-hmm.
I think can go ahead and end it here.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. My name is Kenny Crook Irish Kirby, and keep it weird.
And my name is Maximo Murder, and you can dial Max for murder.
And as always, first name Alex, middle name Guest, last name Alex. I mean special, first name special. I'm fucking tired,
Alex,
boys.
Guest Alex.
I'm fucking tired, boys.
Just go with that first one, because it works.
I'm so tired, and good night, sweet
Yeah.
dreams,
Hey guys,
all you
don't
lovely people.
Don't dream about spiders.
Yeah, and honestly, do have great dreams. I hope your dreams are fantastic.
Dream about
followers.
my baby carrots. Wink, wink.
Dream about Santa Claus and Donald Trump.
Dream about fucking ass chugging vodka.
Or you could just dream about all of those things in a really wild ride.
Yep.
And I've had the Trump ass chugging vodka dream.
Yeah, except it wasn't vodka, it was fucking bleach.
While he was dressed as Santa Claus.
It was just fucking chugging bleach up his asshole.
God, I wish. No, it was actually Hooker Pete.
That makes sense. Russian.
All right, guys. Later.
Good night, y'all.
Alright.
Night.
Good night.
Great. Good night.